Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jenny. I'm an Instagram and digital marketing expert and I help small businesses to build a successful business on Instagram. In today's video, we're going to see how creating shareable content can double your growth on Instagram and how we can create content that people will be more willing to share. Creating shareable content is certainly not easy, but today I'm going to share you my best tips and tricks, my best kept secrets to create shareable content. So first of all, let me explain you how creating shareable content is going to double your growth. Well, it's quite simple. If someone share your content either with their audience or with their friends or family, you're going to attract more eyeballs on your content. It's a bit like your word of mouth online. It's like you're borrowing their audience for a second, and obviously the more people share your content, the more eyeballs on your content and the quicker your growth. So let me show you an example. This screenshot is from an account that I used to handle. I've posted a video that was quite remarkable and it got shared 1,700 times. And as a result, I got over 1 million reach and over 1,100 followers, new followers coming from that post and that video only. And from that one video only, over 6 months worth of stock were gone within 3 weeks. Just because of that one video alone. So you can see that creating shareable content can do some amazing things to your growth. How do we do that? Well, creating shareable content is not easy, as I said earlier, but there are some tips and tricks that you can definitely apply. So I'm going to share with you my 5 rules to be able to create shareable content. The number 1 is your content needs to be unexpected or incredible, remarkable. It needs to be fact that is incredible, unexpected. In fact, it's so incredible, so remarkable that I'm gonna want to share it with a friend. You need to make it unexpected, surprising, something that they haven't heard or seen before. You need to break a pattern that people have come to expect. So a good example, especially for service-based business, is to do myth-busting kind of content. There are always things in your industry that people believe are true, but that you know for a fact that are not. So you want to create content around it, but you always want to back it up with some actual fact or studies or some examples, some concrete examples. But if you prove them wrong with some fact to back up your idea, you will surprise people and they will share your content. So for example, if I can tell you that you can lose weight while eating McDonald's every day, it's going to surprise you. You're not going to believe it. You're going to want to know more. So first of all, it grab attention. Once you read the post, the content, you're like, wow, actually this is very surprising. I'm gonna want to share it with someone. It might even be content that is quite debatable, so people are going to debate on it if it's true or not, or if they agree with it or not. Remember though, don't just come up with something. Always back up your ideas with some case studies, some examples, some studies, something that you really show that you are right or that your opinions are kind of believable in a way. So whatever your business, you can always make something much more interesting or something that seems quite boring, much more interesting, much more surprising. So you can grab people's attention with something as simple as changing a title. And actually YouTubers are great at this, much better than Instagrammers. So I'm gonna give you some examples. So let's say you have a skincare brand and you sell sunscreen, for example, and you put a nice picture of your sunscreen and then you just put a caption that says all the nice features and benefits of that sunscreen, the fact that it protects you from UVA and UVB and blah blah blah, and describe just all the features of the product. Okay, is it grabbing my attention? Not really. Is it shareable worthy? Definitely not. But if you say you could age 5 times faster if you don't use any sunscreen protection, now you grab my attention. Now I want to know more. Why would I age 10 times faster? Do I need a sunscreen? And then actually, here we are, this business has a sunscreen. You actually grab people's attention. It's much more shareable worthy because it's much more unbelievable or surprising fact. Plus, it's going to help you sell more sunscreen. So everything that reflects positively on the person who shares the content, so for example, it makes them look good or much more educated or interesting, is going to be much more shareable. Okay, so second thing you can do is create emotion. Make them feel something. When we care, we share. We tend to share more when we are excited or aroused by something, or when we find something funny. But we also share more when we are angry at something, when we feel like it's an important message that needs to be heard. So if you think about the recent events with the Black Lives Matter movement that happened on Instagram, there were a lot of shareable content and we share a lot of those stories. Why? Because it makes us angry. It revolts us to hear or those stories. And that's exactly what we want, because at the end of the day, we want those stories to be shared in order to reach more people. But if we analyze a thing, we share it more because we know it's an important message that needs to be heard. We are definitely going to share it more. So another thing that helps us share more is what I was saying earlier, is when we feel aroused. So what is being aroused? It's basically when your heart rate is going up and you feel like getting up, you're motivated, and like you just want to act right away. And this is this kind of feeling that you want to be able to reproduce in your content. And that feeling is often linked with people's fears and goals. So one of my most shared posts is simply a quote that says, "Be brave enough to try something new." Because I know most of my audience doesn't dare to just show up, for example, on videos or to try something different for their Instagram, and I know it's going to resonate with them very well. And it will resonate with them even more if I add a story in the caption and I explain what I think about this story, and I really make that connection point with them. So for example, I shared a story that 10 years ago I didn't even dare to speak to the camera. It's something I was really dreading, and actually 10 years ago I had to do it for an assignment at my business school, and I didn't do it. I had literally a panic attack and had to leave the class, and I couldn't do the assignment, and it was just impossible. And even 4 months ago, when I first started doing TikTok videos and when I started this Instagram account, I could not even think about being on videos, like showing my face and talking directly to the camera. And if you look back at my first TikTok videos, it's literally me not talking because I could not do it. And then I tell them, here I am, I've got my YouTube channels, I'm speaking on stories every day, I've got my TikToks where I show up on camera every day. And it's very inspiring because a lot of people, at that space where they feel like they were like me a few months ago and they wish they could just become another person, and it's just something very inspiring that people want to share. So to sum up, just don't focus on features and fact all the time, just make people feel something as well. By the way, if you enjoyed that content so far, make sure to hit that subscribe button because I am sharing weekly videos on how to be more visible and make more sales on Instagram. Number 3 is people share quick wins and valuable content. So people share practical information, quick wins, something that they're gonna be able to apply right away, especially if it's something that's going to help you save them time or save them money or make more money, because that's two things that people really value in life. And if you can help them with time or money, you're definitely going to have a big advantage, because if it's going to help them, they know that a friend could benefit from it too, so they will be more likely to share it. So I'm sure whatever user industry you're in, you can create content that is going to help them right away. Like, so those very quick wins or quick hacks, we love, for example, life hacks, and that's exactly what you want to reproduce with your industry. So yeah, I really want to insist that when you share this kind of information, it needs to be something that they can apply right away. It will always perform better if you say something, oh, you can apply these tips right away and you're going to see, results almost instantly, than if you say, okay, apply these things and then you will see results in 6 months. People are lazy, people don't want to wait, they want to be able to see results instantly. For example, I recently shared a post on my best hacks on Instagram to see instant results, and this post got shared a lot of time, I think over 50 times so far, because it's tips that you can apply right away, it doesn't require that much effort, and people are going to see some results instantly. Okay, so the 4th thing you can do is making it public. We like to be in the norm. We don't really like to stand out, as weird as it can sound. We just like following a crowd and do what other people do. So when it comes to create shareable content, it's exactly the same. If other people share that content, people are going to think, okay, maybe it's worth sharing as well. They're just gonna want to do what others do as well. So that's one of my best hacks, is basically showing people that other people are sharing my content. So every time someone share my content, I would just put it in my story as well, and it's just that social proof that say, hey, that content was worth sharing, probably you want to share it as well. What I would do as well, if I see that a post I put that get a lot of shares right away, like within the first 30 minutes, I would put it in my story saying, hey, that post is getting already, that much shares within just 30 minutes. It would just make people want to act as well, want to check out this post and maybe share it with their friend as well, because if they think that a lot of other people are doing it, surely it's worth doing it as well. So always find a way to make it public, even if it's just one person who's sharing your content, always make sure that everyone else knows about it. Okay, and my last tip is make sure that your content is visually pleasing. That's something a lot of people overlooked, but if you want to create more shareable content, you need to make sure that your content is visually pleasing. Instagram is and will always be a visual platform. If you skip that part, you will struggle to grow and you will struggle to create shareable content. And for example, if you share something that's super valuable, it's a quick wins, or it's something that is worth sharing, but it's under a picture of yourself, I don't really want to share a picture of yourself, I want to share that part that was super valuable, and I don't want to have to take a screenshot of that part that was super valuable, put it in my story and share it with a friend. I want you to make it easy for me. I want to be able to just click on that little airplane and put it in my story or send it to a friend right away. Because again, remember, people are lazy. That's just our human nature. We just want to save, brain calories or whatever. So you need to make it super easy for them to be able to share the content. Don't make them work too hard. You want to make sure that the actual visual of your content is easily shareable. And that's the power of carousels or quotes. They're much more shareable because, you can easily put them in your stories, and the most important part is pretty much already there. So that's why all my content is either in a carousel format or most of the time, just a quote or a single page, but it's always something written because I know it will be easier to share these kind of things. Plus, it grabs more attention, it has a title big right away, and I make sure it's always nice to see, it's always visually pleasing. So make sure that you use Canva, for example. Canva is a great platform where you can easily create your own carousel or your own quotes. I personally use Photoshop, and I've made 2 videos so far on how to use Photoshop for content creators, so make sure to check them out. I will add the link below. Okay, that's it. That's my 5 tips on how you can create shareable content to double your growth on Instagram. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I am sharing weekly videos on how to be more visible and make more sales on Instagram and on social media in general.